Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network. Great to have you with us on the program today. As mentioned, our special guest is Mark Pritchard. Mark will be published this fall with his new book, The Magic Guide Stick. Mark has been blind since birth. He was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, a degenerative eye disease caused by the ultraviolet rays of the sun. Mark hasn't been one to let things get him down, though. In fact, he's quite the opposite. Mark's positive outlook on life is heartwarming, gives us all encouragement to follow our dreams, never give up attitude, and you'll sense that during the course of the program. He's accompanied by his friend Rob Hartley, who's been a mentor, inspired Mark for everything he does and stands for. And Mark has been with us on the program today, an author and entrepreneur. Mark and Rob, great to have you with us on the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Rick, here today. Wow, it is cold in Indiana.
Yes, as we're doing this program, everybody came up from down south except me. And you get off the airplane, and all of a sudden, it's like I need pants with legs and shorts with sleeves, and something with down in it as well. It's been cold here.
Well, next time I come, I'll bring you some warmth. How's that?
Okay, please do that. I thought they were going to. I forgot to specifically ask for that, but we need to do that. Mark, what an inspiring story. Let's talk a little bit about the Magic Guide Stick book. Talk a little bit about that. It's going to be out. By the way, you can get a hold of Mark by his email, which is themagicguidestick@gmail.com. Information, of course, at our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Talk a little bit about the book, what the purpose was in writing it for you.
Well, I was challenged by my wonderful friend here, Rob Hartley, in writing the book. He gave me a goal of 2 weeks to get the book done. And so I thought, well,
sounds reasonable.
I'll give it a shot. And basically, my past is a person that took an English class that had a very, very difficult time even putting a paragraph together. So the thought of putting a book together really scared me a great deal. But I thought, I want to give it a shot. The challenge was made. But let me give you a little glimpse of the book. The book, The Magic Guide Stick, the main character of the book, is a boy by the name of Hanley, a young boy. And he has a very, very special relationship, a close relationship with his grandfather. And one day his grandfather gives him a magic guide stick. And this magic guide stick has just wonderful, wonderful powers that'll help Hanley throughout his childhood. And when I was writing this book, Rick, it really reminded me of the special relationship that I had with my own grandfather, who was an extreme giver, and he taught me just how to give. And the gift that he gave Hanley is just incredible.
It sounds like going back and sort of reliving that relationship and actually putting it in print and making it available to other people. It's been a moving experience for you.
It really has. My grandfather has been passed away for some years now, and same with my parents, but yes, the relationship was very, very special. And the other aspect of the book, too, is that Hanley is participating in, wants to participate just like any other kid in team sports. And I myself, as a young boy, wanted to participate in team sports. My brother got to participate in baseball, football, basketball, and because of my visual impairment, I got to sit on the sidelines most of the time and watch. And I still today have a great love for sports, but am unable to participate in those activities. So thankfully in the book, Hanley gets the opportunity to be just amongst all the other kids and to enjoy himself and feel special, feel accepted. And it just has a wonderful ending. Like I say, it'll be out in the fall, and hopefully everybody else will get a chance.
Well, we'll have information. We'll update you on the program. Again, the email for Mark is themagicguidestick@gmail.com. We'll have all the information up on our website. And I guess, Rob, you're Mr. Motivator. You knew what it was going to take to get Mark to do the book. And I'm thinking 2 weeks, how do you do it in 2 weeks? There was a method to your madness. I assume that's a short time, so he's got to face it. He's got to get to it and get it done.
Well, Mark's story is quite incredible. About 7 years ago, I started an all-blind national bowling team. And you heard me right, a blind bowling team. And within a year, they became national champions. And to see these blind individuals, because I was actually going to do a fundraiser, and it ended up where the blind said, can we come back? And I kept spending money paying for them to bowl. And so let's start a league, and you guys come up and help a little bit here. And so we started doing that. And then Mark Pritchard came into my life about a year ago. And I saw, he's as old as I am, but I still call him a young man. I saw someone that was so optimistic, and he looks at his cup half full all the time. And I thought, what an inspiration Mark could be. So if he could write a book to begin, or a children's book, and kick off that way, then we could expand out to speaking engagements and things. So our personal goal is to set Mark up. Tell him what your dream is in 2 years, Mark.
My dream is to be able to pay cash for a home, to have a wonderful place for my family to live in. I have a wonderful wife, Elaine, who's at home, and 2 wonderful teenagers, Emma and Edward. And I just want the very best for them.
That's great. Great motivation.
Yeah.
And even besides that, it's watching Mark grow through the experience. We just were in Florida, and I'm doing all these different things for a pet expo, and so one of my biggest dreams is employing the blind to do things, or to get them to become entrepreneurs on their own. And Mark will tell you a little bit about something that he's helping me head up in the very near future with local Lions clubs. And it's just, but it's amazing to watch Mark and his growth. I am in awe of what Mark does.
What projects are you working on with the Lions?
Yes, actually, Rob has a program that he's working on, and it's in the process right now. But what he wants to do, and what's going to actually happen here very, very soon, is Rob is going to place people that are visually impaired or blind at carts in your major malls throughout the United States. We're gonna start in the Modesto Mall up in Northern California, and he's working in conjunction with the VIPS program, and also in conjunction with Lions Club International, in getting that off the ground. That whole program will be the flagship of this whole endeavor, and he will have a blind individual, say such as myself, will have an opportunity to work at a cart, be an entrepreneur, have a product line, and be hopefully an inspiration and a light to customers, merchants, other folks in the mall.
I'm sure you will be, and I'm sure, Rob, you'll be able to touch a lot of people in doing this. And just in listening to Mark's story, and I think people listening at home, cars, or wherever are like, this guy's really got his act together. And I go back to something you said in the beginning. I think you said, I was scared to death by it, but I'll give it a shot. I think your whole life has been a lot of, I think I'll give it a shot. I don't think you're held back too much, are you?
No, there isn't too much that gets me down. And actually, I'm a very anxious and sometimes too impatient kind of person. but let me share a story, if I may, with you, Rick. As far as just that, looking at the cup half full. Once I got somewhat rebellious, and I don't recommend this to any blind person out there, but with the matter of transportation,
yeah, Rob knows what's coming on.
So with the matter of transportation these days for the blind, and the lack of, I hate to say, but for a blind individual to get to point A, from point A to point B, sometimes can take 45 minutes to an hour, and it could be somewhere it's a half a mile away. So what I did is, in my mid-20s, shall I say, I went and took cash, and I went into a sleazy car dealership in Long Beach, California, and I'm not going to mention their name. But I purchased a car, and I drove it home. I have, like Rick stated earlier, I have retinitis pigmentosa. I have severe tunnel vision. I don't have any side vision at all. Yes, the car made it home. It was a wonderful 1970 Ford Mustang Mach 1, and it made it home in one piece. And
now, when you got home, were there people there?
Nobody.
Did anybody come out and go, how'd this car get here? And it looks like Mark is getting out of the driver's side of the car.
Well, I pretty much kept most of it under the lid for quite a while, even amongst family. I didn't really want to advertise it too much, but it was sort of my little secret kind of a thing. But it got me from point A to point B in 10 minutes rather than an hour. And no driver's license, nothing at that time. Nothing was required of me. I purchased that and drove it home. About a week later, my brother decided to borrow it, rolled it, totaled it, and the car was no longer a part of my life.
So Mark learned from that point, he moved from cars to motorcycles.
Yes, I have.
And so he actually,
okay.
because of his tunnel vision, I said, Mark, how do you drive a a motorcycle down the road this way. He says, well, I can't see, so I wait till cars get up right beside me, and hopefully I can go right along with the traffic because I'm not sure if the light is green or red.
See, now hopefully would scare me. That's the key word there. That would frighten me a whole lot.
Well, it takes a great amount of prayer too, Rick. But let me share that story quickly with you, if I may.
Sure.
My mother wanted me to have some sense of independence too, and so she took me to a Honda dealership, not close to home, and she and myself, we purchased a Honda scooter. All I had to do was put my feet up and turn the little knob, and there I went. But no driver's license, cash, drove it right out of the showroom. I remember even to this day telling my mom, just please take me on the side streets home. We probably had about 10 miles to get from the dealership back to home. And lo and behold, my wonderful mom, who I love dearly to this day, took me down one of the major boulevards in California all the way home. And I admit, and like I say, once again, I don't recommend this to any blind people that might be listening or watching this, but I had no driver's license. I did drive it illegally, and I did that very carefully for about 7 years. And then I had a major collision. And I was actually rear-ended severely, and I was thrown about 70 yards. And the little motor scooter got wrapped up into a pretzel. And I had a lot of road rash, but by the grace of God, I'm still with you today.
And I think through this, that story more tells me, Mark really is motivated to do something with his life and make a big difference. And that's one of the reasons I want to be really involved with him and help him.
Well, and the book, which will be coming out soon, is called The Magic Guide Stick, and Mark has talked about that. His website will be up closer to the time the book is out, and you can get that information at our website, thisweekinamerica.us. His email is themagicguidestick@gmail.com. A couple minutes' time is going so quickly in the program. I want to talk about how you use this motivation, goal setting, and other aspects of your life. And I understand recently you lost a lot of weight.
Yes, I have. It was about 10 years ago. I just give you some facts and figures. I was about 440 pounds, and I had the gastric bypass surgery done. Dropped about 150 pounds. Met and married my wonderful wife. Gained about 50 pounds back.
Good cook.
Yeah.
Excellent cook.
Italian woman?
No, just a loving woman with a couple of wonderful, loving kids. But just a blessing to me. She can cook, though. She can really cook. But I blew back up to about 350 pounds, and I thought, I can't live my life that way. And if I want a fullness of life and wonderful health to do the wonderful things that I want to do throughout the rest of my life, I need to get rid of some weight. So I just one day made a decision. And when I had the gastric bypass surgery done at 440 pounds, I was in a size 64 pair of pants. Today I weigh in about 265. I'm in a wonderful pair of size 42 pants. I'd love to get down to about 200 pounds, and that's where that's where I'll have just some I'll have some wonderful health. I'll have the energy. I'll have what I need to continue life and make.
Rob, I understand why you're close to Mark. It's got to be inspirational. Just when you think you're having a bad day, you get Mark coming in here and putting everything in
just
perspective.
Recently, over the 7 months, I've lost 80 pounds, and I feel fantastic. Wow. I feel like a newfound person.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the compliment.
And I think one of the things through this, it's not just Mark writing the book, but our next goal, I've started having Mark go into some of my speaking engagements and sharing the platform with me. And I want to encourage the audience, get out there and do this with Mark. Invite us to come out and speak. We'll inspire anybody that's out there.
Got about a minute left in the program. You mentioned decisions, and so many of us make decisions, some right, some wrong. At an early age, when you realized, I can't keep up with the other kids. I can't play baseball like the other kids. I can't play football. Yeah, I would assume at that point you could go either way. I could feel sorry for myself, or I could overcome. How difficult was it for you to get in the mindset of, I'm going to make the best of what I've got here?
Well, there were times when I would very much easily get caught up in the whole self-pity part of it, and that's where I really found isolation and eating. But there were a lot of other days when I thought, I just got to rise above this, and I didn't have an isolated type of life. I had friends, I had activity, but it was easy for me to just dissolve back into that whole kind of pity thing, you know, and poor me, I'm blind, I have a weight problem, you know. And I know there's probably others even in your audience today that think that, and I just want to share with you, there is such great hope for them, you know. Look what I've done. You can do it too.
Except maybe not drive the car off the car lot.
No, I don't recommend that. I
that's
highly do not recommend that.
That's questionable.
No, yes.
But it worked out okay.
Yes. I'm here today, thank God.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're out of time, unfortunately, on the program. Mark Pritchard has been our guest. He's the author of the new book. It'll be out soon, called The Magic Guide Stick. His email is themagicguidestick@gmail.com. And again, information available at our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Rob Hartley, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about your book, but you're going to be on for a program all yourself, and we can talk about that. For the Love of My Pet, Rob is an author, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, and someone who's worked very closely in working with Mark, and you want to take him out even further across the country.
Yes, and I can't wait for that. It's not just Mark, but the whole reason behind helping Mark is because he can become the mentor to many, many other blind people that I couldn't even reach out or touch. And I'm in awe of Mark. He's a friend, he's a brother, and I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your story on the program. Mark Pritchard and Rob Hartley, you're listening to This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network.